I'm going to show you everything you need to know about buying your first car at IAAI. In a minute, we're going to go to the auction in person so you can see exactly what to do when you're there. But before we get there, there's a couple of things that you need to know, starting with the website. So this is how the IAA homepage looks. There's a lot of things that you can do from here, but we're just going to focus on how to actually buy your first car. So we're going to go to the top portion right here through auctions. Then we're going to go to locations under the auctions tab. And then you're going to see a bunch of different locations that's going to come up. Of course, with this, you can just put in the exact location that you're at. So I'm in New York. I'm just going to put in NY, do search. And then there's a couple locations that come up. I'm around Long Island, so I'm going to click this one. And you can actually just click this part right here on the side where it shows the date of the auction. And now that we're at this page, there's a couple of things that you can see. First of all, is going to be where that location of that auction is. You're also going to see the phone number. You're going to see the office hours. And then you're also going to see when exactly the auction is going to be running. This is when the cars are going to be running through the running lanes and when you could actually start bidding on them. So let's say for this one, an example is going to be July 29th at 8:30 a.m. That's when the auction is going to be starting. So I could click onto that area right here. And then this is where you're going to start seeing all the different cars that's going to be available at that auction on that day. And if you see here, it's going to be over 1,300 vehicles that's going to be shown. Now, once you get to this page, there's a couple of different things that you're going to be looking for. Of course, if you look to the left, there's the filters that you could set up so you could have a certain range of cars that's mainly going to be coming up for you. And the more important thing is going to be this right here. So if you can look at this little section, it actually says off-site. That's what you don't want to see if you want to actually go to check out the cars in person. So these are cars that you can still bid on when the auction day comes, but it's not ones that you could see in person. If there's ones that you want to see in person, you're going to have to see this one that doesn't have the notification in the description, like this one right here. So let's click into this one as an example. So you're going to see the year, make, and model of the car on the top left. This one's, of course, a 2011 Audi A4. You're going to see generally around like 10 to 12 pictures of the car right here. And then there's usually a video of the car actually running as well, so you can see what the engine sounds like. Then moving on past that, you're going to see just basic information about the car, like seeing exactly what loss it was. This one's a collision, of course. Seeing where the primary damage was, different things like that. You can also see the start code right here where it says runs and drive. As a quick mention on this too, just because it says that it runs and drives doesn't mean that it fully has a good running engine and a good running transmission where you can be shifting through every gear. And even if the car is just barely running and enough to just stay on for a couple of seconds, and even enough where you can just kind of put it into gear, that could be enough to make it onto that listing. So keep that in mind as you're going into each car. Then moving on from that is going to be the really important information that you need to see, which is, first of all, we're going to go kind of from the top and then kind of work our way down to the bottom. So first you're going to see the pre-bid at the top here. This is basically just exactly what it sounds like. If you want to put a bid up for the car before it actually starts running through the lanes, is where you can actually do it here. You can also have it right here to add it to my watch list. So as you're going through each car that you're interested in, you should be adding each car into your watch list. And we're going to get into exactly what to do with that watch list when we go in person in a second. Next thing right after that is the cost calculator. So this is how you can very easily see exactly how much the bidding fees are going to be on the car. And this is something that you really need to make sure that you're doing, because the fees on these auctions in particular can be pretty expensive. So let's say, as an example, we'll type in $2,500 right here, do view estimate, and then as you see, the final thing comes down to $3,350. So over $700 in fees right there, just like that. But that's a quick way that you can see it without having to be searching all around to see exactly what the fees are. You can also see what the estimate will be for the transport if you want to get that. And then the last thing that you really want to look at is the seller. And there's a big tip right here. Usually when you're buying cars from these auctions, the main companies that you're trying to buy them from is insurance companies. You don't want to be buying them from individual sellers or dealerships. Generally speaking, if it's a dealership or something like that that's selling the car through here, there's a reason it's through here. It's probably not going to be that great of a deal. You're generally going to want to buy it from an insurance auction like this. Let's say with this one, it's State Farm Insurance. But that's the main things that you're really going to be doing when you're on the website. Now we're going to transition over to when you're going there in person, since you already built up the watch list of cars that you need to check out when you're going to be getting there. All right, so now we're here at the auction, and now we're going to go over a couple of things that you should know when you're going to be going to the lot in person to check out the cars. Every IAA is different in terms of what time you can come to check out the cars. Usually there is only one day in the week and one certain time frame in that day to come to view the cars that you're going to be bidding on. Let's say for this one, I'm in Long Island, New York. This one is on Mondays from 10 a.m. to around 1 p.m. So to find that out yourself, you can either just call the branch that you're going to be going to see what the viewing day is, or when you're on the website, seeing what the branches are that's around you, you can usually see what the viewing days are as well. The next thing is what to expect and what to bring when you're coming. So first of all, when you first come in, there's usually going to be an office. That's going to be the office way over there. That's where you're going to go to first and foremost, and you're going to bring a couple of things with you that they're going to need to see. First thing is going to be your identification, something like a license or whatever you have. You're also going to need closed-toe shoes, so I know you can't be walking in here with sandals or something like that. And then, of course, you're also going to need a vest like this. Now, if you don't have a vest that you could just have yourself to go with, you could also get a vest from them if you give them your identification. And then, of course, after you're done for the day, and you can get your identification back and give the vest back. And when you go in, they're generally going to ask you for your buyer ID number that you got from the IAA website. And they're also going to ask for the exact cars that you're going to be checking out when you're going to be going in to view the cars. Then they're going to give you a little visitor's badge like this, and then you're cleared to go into the viewing lanes. And here we are at the viewing lanes. Of course, there's going to be a lot of cars, most likely with most of the auctions that you're going to. Of course, you should already know this before you even clicked into this video, but this is an insurance auction, so don't come in here expecting it's going to be some perfect cars where you could just buy and then, flip right after or go into driving right after. If that is the case, there's probably going to be something wrong with those cars that you might not be expecting when you're first buying it. Most of them are going to be cars like this that have some type of damage on the front or damage on the sides or whatever that's going to have to be repaired before it's ready to be driven. And of course, if they are like this, where they're already busted up and everything, most likely they're salvage title cars that's going to have to be going into rebuild title before they're able to be registered and driven. Now, as I mentioned, when you're coming here beforehand, you should already have a watch list of the cars that you're going to be looking to check out when you get here. And you're really just going to be looking at a couple of things to find out exactly where it is on the lot. And it's mainly going to be the aisle and then the stall number. The person that was in the office wrote it down for me, but really, you could see it on the app as well. And on the app, it would be right here under sales information, where you see aisle and stall. So aisle MX, stall 33 for this one. So now linking that back to what it's going to look like at the auction, this is around how it is. I will say it might look a little different at the auction that you're at, but it's either going to be something like this, where there's kind of writings along the walls, or it might be signs that's kind of posted up around the place as well. But let's say the one we're looking for is MX. So right here, you can see this is row L or row M. So we're looking for MX. That's the M right there. Then if I take a little 180, that's the X right here. So it should be in this lane right here in front of me. So let me scroll up so you could see what the car was that we were looking for. This is it. It's a 2007 BMW 530xi. And this is it in person with all of its glory, looking good. But this is the same one. And of course, you can match it up with the VIN number or the stock number that you see on the website or on the app to make sure that this is the exact car that you're looking at. Now, keep in mind, with most of these IAAs that you go to, you might be able to open the door on some of them. Let's say with this car, I can actually open the car up. I can look inside, all that stuff. But it really is mainly for a viewing. It's mainly a viewing day where there really is no keys inside, so you can't start the car up. You definitely can't go for a test drive or anything like that. So you're mainly just here to assess around what the condition of the car really is like. Now, in a second, we're going to get into exactly how you're going to be bidding on the car online. But before we get to that, of course, you already see the channel name is Flipping University. I teach people how to buy and sell cars. And if you want to do the same thing, especially buying cars from a place like this, like IAA, Copart, private sale, whatever the case may be, and make some really great profit off it, I put together a free checklist that you can download, and you can just know the exact steps that you should be taking to make sure that you're getting the car for a good deal and then actually getting great profit off it in the back end. If you want access to that, just go to the link in the description below. So we're back on the IAAI homepage, and what we're going to do is go back to around the same area as we were before. Going to go to this top tab right here, but instead we're going to go to live auctions at the top here, click there, and then do around the same thing. Just put where you're from I'm going to do New York, and that's where it comes up with a couple of options that are the live auctions right now. And let's say for the one that I went to, I'm gonna go back to this one right here, Long Island, and then just do join auction. You're gonna see all the auctions come up here that are available to be bidded on, and then just press continue. And then boom, we're actually into the auction lanes where you could be bidding on each car. Now, I will say if it is a scenario where, you don't need to see every single lane, you just have like 1 or 2 lanes that you want to check out, you could just uncheck the other lanes so that there's not a huge screen of a bunch of cars going through at the same time. You could just have like one screen of, a certain lane going for the car that you're actually interested in rather than having all these at the same time. But now the main thing is just how you're going to know what cars you're going to be bidding on will be coming up and when you're going to be bidding on them exactly. So we already saw when we were there at the auction how you're going to be finding the cars there. Is going to be that aisle and the stall number that's going to be in the listing of the cars. But for how to find them when you're going to be going through the lanes, that's the whole different thing. That's where you're going to be looking at the lane, which is, let's say in this case, it's letters is lane B, C, D, all that stuff, and then the run number. And of course, generally speaking, it's going to be the lower run numbers that's going to be going up first. So let's say if you have a lane A and run number 1, that car is going to be the first car that's going to go through that lane. So you have to make sure that, let's say when the auction is starting that day, you're going to be ready to bid on that car right when the auction starts, let's say at 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning. If it is going to be a later run number, let's say it's like run number 200 or something like that, it's going to take a little while before it gets to that specific car. If the auction starts at like 9, it might end up being another 2 hours after the auction starts before it gets to that specific car. And when you get to this page, you're going to have a couple different options of how you can make your bid. The easiest thing to do if you just want to go in like very quick intervals of generally around like $50 from what the bid is currently at is just pressing this middle button right here. You'll see what the price is at, and it just bids, let's say, an extra $50 above that. And you'll see what the current bid is right here too. So let's say the current high bid, and you're just going to quickly keep moving, but it's going to go in intervals around $50 to $100 if you press this little middle button. Then to the left of that, you're going to have auto. If you click into that, then you can set a maximum bid that you just want to stick to. So let's say right now, if the bid is at $2,000 and I know that my maximum, I don't want to be above $3,000, you can put the auto bid in at $3,000. And then anyone who counters below that, the system is automatically going to counter them back until it gets up to that maximum bid that you put in for the auto bid. And then let's say for the jump bid, this one is different where it's kind of like a mix between the two, where instead of it going in smaller intervals, let's say of like $100 or so with this middle button that you press, you can press the jump bid button and then it'll, let's say, jump up at bigger intervals. Maybe it could jump up at like $500 or $1,000. So let's say if you want to get to a certain price faster rather than having the auction kind of play out and drag on a little bit longer. But let's say you are that person that gets that top bid in for regardless of what strategy you use of how you're going to be bidding, and the time gets all the way down to the bottom and no one bids above you, then boom, you won the car or potentially won the car. Because the next part after that is where, let's say if the seller has a reserve, sometimes there's a reserve on the car. Let's say the reserve might be $3,000 that the seller wanted to get to, but maybe the car only got to $2,500. Sometimes after that, you might have to negotiate with the seller to kind of find what would work best in between that. But let's say if you already met the reserve for the seller, then boom, the car is sold and it's yours already. Now moving on to the next step, right after that, it's just how you're going to be paying for the car. So to get to that, we're just going to go to a different page. Again, go up to the top center right here. At this point, instead, we're going to go to My Auction Center, and then you're going to go to Won Vehicles. And that's where it's going to bring you to this page. So if you have any vehicles that you actually won, then you're going to be going to this page right here where it says to be paid. And then you're going to see your vehicle there as the one that you still have to pay off, basically. So with that, you're also going to see a part on the side where it says if you want to get transportation for the car, if you want transportation for it, you can add that to the whole purchase now so that you don't have to worry about that later on. And then right after that, you're going to see options that you can make the payment with. And actually, IAA has a pretty good amount of options. You could either use a cashier's check if you want to go there in person to pay for the car. You can pay with a card, like a credit card. You can pay with PayPal. You can do a wire transfer. And then after that, that's really it. Whatever paperwork that you had for the car is either going to be mailed to you, or let's say if you're under a dealership, it's going to be mailed to the dealership that the account is under. And then the car is yours. That's really it. But from there, if you want to see exactly how I flipped my own insurance car from this auction, you can click into the video there. And like I said, if you want to flip your own cars for profit and make a killing off of it, make sure you get that checklist. It's in the description below. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.